in fights where things don't go a fighter's way and you start to see some frustration, you start to see them like lose some of their focus, like they kind of get taken out of their game because things aren't going their way and you see things bothering them.
Yeah.
So is that something like, so if you recognize that you can put yourself in this very specific state of mind where no matter what happens, you are exactly the same way?
Yeah. That, and it took years for me to get to that point. Cause yeah, I'm human.
Yeah.
You know, I get, you know, stuff is not going your way. You start to, you know, the anxiety starts to build, and then you start to, you know, start doing things uncharacteristic. For me, I've trained over and over and over to try to be as close to that zone as possible. And so
where you just execute.
Yeah, where I just,
no matter what,
I don't care what happened. Like I kicked his elbow and I kicked his shin a couple of times. And if you ever kicked the shin and kicked the
it's not fun.
It's not. I'm sitting here I have a huge bump on my shin still and it's still swelling up, you know, and I didn't care. Didn't even faze me, you know, because I was in that zone. And I didn't care whether I got taken out. I don't give a shit if I get beat for 4 rounds and 50 minutes. Guess what? I'm still going to execute. That 10 seconds left, I'm going to execute what I set out to do.
This mindset, is this something that, have you managed this? Have you written things out? Is this something that you practice? Do you meditate? Like, how do you get yourself into that state?
Oh, man, just years of experience.
So it's just an experience thing?
Years of experience, trial and error, and all of the above. Like, I started meditating. I've grown a lot in the last 3 years. A lot has happened to me in the last 3 years. Whole ton. Life, you know, experiences, you know,
your
relationships.
Father's out of jail now.
Yeah, my father being back.
How great is that?
It's amazing. It's amazing for him to be able to witness now everything that's going on in my life and see it firsthand. You know, that feels great to me. That's one of the joys of where I am now, which I think has kind of ultimately led me to the point where I am, because I see things. I'm more grateful for things. And that I see people kind of like look at me like an alien, because if I'm not upset at certain things that don't go my way, or if I don't react a certain way to certain things, people are like, oh, well, why aren't you reacting this way? You should be more upset. Oh, you're not disappointed, you're not hurt. No, and especially about this experience. The biggest, I would say, the most hurtful thing for me is I didn't represent. Well, it's not that I didn't represent. I did. I didn't get the result for the amount of work that I put in. The amount of work that my coaches put in with me.
Well, you did minus 1 minute.
Exactly. But
that's really what it is.
For me is, I'm not one of those, oh, you kind of execute. No, I want to execute all the way through.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm secure in knowing what I'm capable of. I know what I'm capable of doing to Leon Edwards and to anybody else in the world. I know that. And so it's funny to me now. Everyone's kind of writing it off like, oh, okay, they're talking about, yeah, this is a big fight, Leon and this guy, Leon and that guy. And I'm sitting like, I'm the best in the world. Are you serious? You know? So that I would say maybe might be a little irritation for my part, but it's not. It's I didn't feel like I didn't get the victory. So in my head, I'm like, damn, you didn't execute all the way through. But I know what I'm capable of. I've always known what I'm capable of. I knew that before I fought Tyron Woodley.
Do you think that this fight can actually elevate you to another level?
1,000%. 1,000%. Everything is a lesson for me. Everything, every experience, every failed relationship, failed business, all of that is a lesson for me. And I got a lot of flag. Like I saw that. Okay, the one moment I have to be honest that did hit my heart a little bit was when I was in the hospital with Ali. We were in the hospital together when I was getting scanned. I was already back. I watching the video clip of it. He showed me that because I wanted to see how it happened. And I was like, damn, he got me. That was a good shot. You know, I was envious of it. Like, I'm like, damn, he set me up good. That shit was beautiful. You know, it's like a form was just nice. You know, kudos to Leon. And but then the camera pans into the audience and they showed my daughter. My daughter cried. And she cried, and that it was like it was the weirdest thing. It was like an instant trigger response, like boom. My heart, like I wanted to cry just seeing that for her, because as a parent, as a father, that's one of the worst things is we couldn't. And I learned that when my daughter was a infant, is when they're sick or something's bothering them, you just feel it. It just hits your heart. And then when my daughter was crying, that one it got to me. I was like, oh shit, I didn't like seeing that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I think Connor had tweeted something and was kind of blasting me about it, like, you know, for bringing her to the fight and this and that, and
Really?
and yeah, like he tweeted some mean things or certain things like that, and it was just like, how low are people sometimes. But for me, it was like, fuck no. Like they don't understand it. They don't understand. They're just in a low level of thinking to it. They don't understand. Like, absolutely, I'm gonna bring her. My daughter's not only gonna see when daddy's victorious and daddy just continues to beat everybody, and daddy gets to, you know, put her in the best school or whatever she wants to be. No, you know, because I'm in a weird place. Like, I'm trying to teach her. She has work ethic, but it's kind of like, I don't want to do that today, or I don't want to go to gymnastics, or I don't want to do that this week. And she's kind of like, doesn't want to do it. Oh, I don't like it anymore. I want to quit, you know. And I'm trying to teach her the best way that I can without forcing her to do something of what it takes to work hard. And my daughter has been going to the gym with me ever since she was 6 months old. So she understands that and she's okay with it. That's why she can watch my fights. But I'm not only going to bring her because daddy's victorious. I am blessed right now with an opportunity to show my daughter that, look, you can fall down and look how you can get back up. And so it was to see people like, and someone like Connor, who actually does have children, to say something like that, it was like, man, you're missing the mark big time, bro. You're missing it big time, because I am blessed with that. Like, how I am blessed. How often do you get an opportunity like that to where you can give them an example of how it is to rebound at the highest level?
Do you think about your daughter in the audience while you're fighting at all?
No.
Is it when you get to the cage, do you think about the fact that she's there, or are you just completely focused?
No, I try to limit my... This is like fight week. I had to get comfortable with bringing her around fight week, because, and I learned this. The first fight she ever went to was the Tyra Woodley fight, and my daughter, we have this bond.